So I am in Dreamweaver and I want to show you how to set up your site and then connect your site and upload your files to the ASU web host. On my desktop I have my WIP folder and then I've created a portfolio folder. So I have a lot of different sites in work right now, but you may just have an initial folder for your portfolio. You could just call it GRA 3512. You can name it with your name, and then you're going to place the files that you create for this class and for this particular project inside that folder. So it's in the WIP folder. So I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver and go to Manage Sites again. So if you're creating this as a new site, then you want to make sure that you point to the correct folder. So I would go back to my desktop and make sure I'm in the WIP folder and then select that portfolio folder, and then that's where my files are going to be stored. So make sure this is important that you point to the correct folder where you're storing your files. So I've got that set up already, and I've called this my portfolio folder, and then I can open that up and see the files that I've got. On here I have an index.html page, and I want to, let's say I want to load this page onto the ASU server as my index page. And then I want to go to Define Servers. Then click on the plus button and type in app state for the server name. You can hit tab and select SFTP for our file transfer protocol. Then for the address, just type in www.appstate.edu. Then type in, make sure your username and password is selected, and then type in your username and your password. So if you recently changed your password, you may want to give it some time for this to work. And then click on the test button to make sure that it's connected successfully. Then under root directory, type in public_HTML. So that is going to be a folder on the ASU web host under your username where your files are going to be stored. Then under web URL, replace that public_HTML text with the first letter of your last name, / and then your username. And then it's going to find your index.html page in your root directory. Now, if you did not name your home page index.html, you would want to type in the specific name for your home page. But for now, just so I don't confuse you, for most of you, you'll be using index.html, and so you will just type in the first letter of your last name, / and then your username, and save. Then you will want to connect to the remote server. Click on this expand menu so you can see what's on your local root folder, so what's on your desktop or your portable drive, and then what's on the remote server. So this is what I have uploaded to the ASU server, and you may not have anything in there yet. You can see that I've got an index.html page, and I have subdirectories or subfolders with other websites. So if you already have a website, you've already got an index.html page on the ASU web host, you want to create a subfolder, and then you'll want to direct your site to that subfolder. And I can show you how you would do that. But for now, we're just going to go by the index.html page. So I'm going to select my index.html page, and I can upload the individual files, or I can upload all of the files and synchronize them. So I could put this individual file by clicking on the up arrow. I want to include dependent files, so I'm going to click yes, and that's going to move a copy of this file onto the server, the web server. If I click on the synchronize button, it's going to put everything on this site onto the server. And I can click on preview, and then it's going to check for everything. I'm just going to cancel that for now because I want to cloak some of my folders here. So I'm going to do control right click and cloak them because I've already got them uploaded. And then I'm going to try to synchronize. And those files should be uploaded now uploading onto the ASU web host. And while it's doing that, I can check on my server and look at my index page. So what you want to do, what you'll actually type in for your URL is the app state address /tilde, and that is usually found in the upper left corner on the Mac keyboard, and then your username. And you don't need to type in index.html because it will automatically find that page for you. And you can click on the refresh button if needed. So I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver. It's still copying some of my files over. I have these other folders. So let's look at this K_multimedia folder. I've got another website within that folder. But if I go to my browser now and I type in that subdirectory, so I've got K_multimedia, it will take me to that website. So I just have to type in the additional name of the subdirectory folder. So I've switched to a different site now, so I've got this other site within this folder called Scholarship. So if I wanted to find this server, when I set that up, I would type in all the same information, select SFTP, and then my username, and then I'm going to add on the name of the folder. So let's say this folder's name is Scholarship, so I'm going to type in Scholarship, and then my index page is actually named Scholarship Index.html, so I'm going to type that full name, Scholarship Index.html, and then I would say this, and what I type into my browser window is going to be Scholarship /scholarship index.html. So we're just adding another folder name and using a subdirectory. This is only if you already have a site, you already have an index.html page on the AppState web host. So most of you won't have that issue. You can just directly put in your username and then it'll find your index page. So this is only for those who already have a site currently on the ASU web host. So if any additional questions about how to set that up, just let me know and I can help you get that going.